The esteemed Stoic thinker Marcus Aurelius once proclaimed, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." Inspired by the profound insights of Marcus Aurelius, it becomes evident that the essence of our existence and contentment is sculpted by our mental engagements. Analogous to the significant effect that our social circles have on our life's trajectory, certain practices can subtly deviate us from the Stoic principles. In this video, we shall examine the 7 habits that may covertly infiltrate our routines, contradicting Stoic values, and investigate strategies to realign with our Stoic principles and serenity. Before we proceed, your endorsement of this video through a like would be highly valued to aid in the dissemination of Stoic teachings. For those yet to subscribe, I encourage you to do so and activate the notification bell to ensure you stay updated with forthcoming content. 1. Fretting over uncontrollable circumstances. Picture a serene outdoor gathering where all is merry. The sun beams down warmly, the feast is delightful, and then abruptly the sky darkens and rain ensues. While the majority might retreat indoors, embracing the shift and delighting in the rain's aroma, a handful might let this unforeseen event overshadow their spirits, voicing grievances about the climate, their misfortune, or their drenched attire. This scenario epitomizes the impact of external factors beyond our command. Much like the capricious nature of weather, life's course is fraught with uncertainty, and though the happenings themselves may be beyond our influence, our responses to them are not. The essence of Stoicism lies in distinguishing between what is within our power to alter and what is not. Grumbling about matters outside our control is an ineffective habit that drains our vitality and hours, breeding incessant dissatisfaction. Taking a commonplace scenario such as the workplace, we've all witnessed peers who excessively brood over executive decisions or shifts in organizational policies, rather than adapting and seeking methods to navigate within these new bounds. This incessant bemoaning not only hampers their own efficiency and tranquility, but also casts a pall over the collective atmosphere. To counteract this counterproductive tendency, we might take a leaf out of Epictetus's book, consistently questioning, does this fall within my sphere of control? Confronted by such dilemmas rather than expressing displeasure, adopting a more Stoic stance would involve pondering, how might I adjust to this? Or, what lessons could this scenario impart? Through such introspection, we reclaim our agency and preserve our inner calm, ensuring we stay composed in the face of life's inherent unpredictability. 2. Chasing external affirmation. Envision dedicating countless hours to a project, infusing it with your passion and effort. Upon completion, rather than basking in self-satisfaction, you find yourself obsessively seeking approval through social media likes, comments, or any form of recognition. Or maybe, after purchasing a new attire, instead of donning it for the sheer joy it brings you, you're on the lookout for compliments to affirm your selection. In the era of digital interconnectedness, the quest for external affirmation has intensified. Social media platforms cater to our innate yearning for validation, tempting us into equating our value with superficial metrics such as follower counts, likes, or reposts. Building self-esteem on such a volatile base is precarious, as these numbers are transient and swayed by variables beyond our influence. In essence, depending on external affirmation is akin to riding a seesaw. One moment you're buoyed by accolades, and the next you're deflated by their absence, or worse, by criticism. This erratic flux hinders a stable sense of self-worth and tranquility. A Stoic mindset advocates for internal validation. Stoicism posits that true self-appreciation should be rooted in our moral values, deeds, and personal advancement, rather than the capricious judgments of others. Echoing Epictetus's profound insight, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. It is suggested that our value lies not in the applause or critique from others, but in our own assessment and sentiments regarding our conduct and choices. To embrace this Stoic tenet, when you catch yourself in the act of soliciting external validation, take a moment to introspect. What drives my need for this affirmation? Do I take pride in my endeavors or choices? If affirmative, that should suffice. Bear in mind, while constructive feedback is beneficial for progression, your self-esteem should emanate from within, anchored in your endeavors, motives, and moral integrity, rather than the ever-evolving views of the external world. 3. Yielding to emotional impulses. Envision being at a familial gathering when a kin, possibly without malice, comments on a recent decision you've made, be it a career move, a new relationship, or a shift in lifestyle. The remark feels like a jab, triggering a storm of feelings, irritation, defensiveness, or sorrow. Almost instinctively, you may retort sharply, casting a shadow over the gathering. Was this knee-jerk reaction truly the wisest? This scenario typifies the predicament of succumbing to our emotions. Emotions, by their nature, are neutral. They are inherent human reactions that shed light on our inner state and our interpretation of our environment. Nonetheless, being ensnared by these emotions, letting them steer our actions without restraint, can culminate in choices we later rue and fractured relations. Stoic thought underscores the necessity of acknowledging our emotions without being overwhelmed by them. As Marcus Aurelius wisely stated, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This principle from Stoicism enlightens us that while our initial emotional response to circumstances may be beyond our sway, our subsequent responses are not. Hence, when next you're engulfed by an emotional wave, be it due to a peer's words, a work-related scenario, or another instigator, pause for a breath. Reflect. Is reacting on the spur of this emotion the most constructive path? Will it foster concord or incite more strife? Through such deliberate reflection and temperance, you nurture emotional fortitude, ensuring your responses are in harmony with your principles, not merely swayed by transient emotions. Embracing this Stoic stance empowers you to tread through life's diverse trials with balance, acting not on whimsical feelings, but from a foundation of thoughtful deliberation and sagacity. 4. The chase for excessive gratification. Visualize entering a lavish banquet. The table overflows with an assortment of exquisite cuisines, rich desserts, and an unceasing supply of beverages. The allure to partake unrestrainedly is strong, yet, as the night wanes, the initial delight might give way to sensations of unease or remorse. This exemplifies the pitfall of overindulgence. Life is replete with enjoyable offerings, from delectable meals to opulent experiences. While relishing these is part of life's fabric, the snare of perpetually seeking more can engender a hollow feeling. The fleeting happiness these indulgences impart often cloaks an underlying emptiness, steering us away from pursuing more profound, lasting satisfaction. The insightful words of Seneca, "Slavery resides under marble and gold, underscore the irony that an excessive attachment to material pleasures can ensnare us, paradoxically diminishing our liberty. It's akin to being tethered to a ceaseless loop, eternally pursuing the next ephemeral delight. Consider the contemporary fascination with technology, for instance. The excitement of acquiring the latest smartphone model is palpable, yet how quickly does this excitement dissipate, only to be rekindled by the advent of an even newer version? Take also the trend of binge-watching series. While it's entertaining at the moment, does it truly render lasting gratification? To steer through this, fostering a mindset of moderation proves invaluable. Prior to succumbing to the next indulgence, halt and contemplate. Is this endeavor truly enhancing my life? Or am I merely chasing a fleeting thrill? Such reflection aids in discerning between what genuinely enriches our existence and what provides mere temporary diversion. By aligning our pursuits with enduring well-being rather than ephemeral pleasures, we set the stage for a richer, more fulfilling experience of joy and contentment. 5. Dwelling on bygone times. Picture yourself on your porch during a serene evening, yet rather than relishing the sunset, your thoughts are far away, ensnared in past occurrences. Perhaps it's an error you committed, a chance you overlooked, or memories of someone from your past. While it's natural to reflect on the past at times, being fixated on it can hinder your ability to embrace the present fully. Ruminating on bygone events, particularly those tinged with regret or melancholy, can feel akin to navigating life laden with an onerous rucksack. It weighs you down, impedes your progress, and obscures the prospects and splendor that lie directly before you. Each instance you revisit a past scenario, you empower it, permitting it to command precious cognitive space that could be more fruitfully allocated to the present. The Stoic sage Epictetus once remarked, "Men are disturbed not by things, but by the views which they take of them." This suggests that our anguish is often less about the historical occurrences themselves and more about our persistent focus and interpretation of them. Reflect on the tale of two long-time companions reuniting after years apart. One dwells on the past, mourning missed opportunities and lost connections. The other, conversely, talks of insights gained, appreciation for current joys, and anticipation for what lies ahead. Both have traversed the sands of time, yet their outlooks diverge significantly. To liberate oneself from the grasp of the past, fostering awareness is essential. When you catch your thoughts drifting to earlier times, conscientiously steer your focus back to the present. Immerse yourself in practices that anchor you in the now, such as meditation, writing reflections, or simply strolling and keenly observing your environment. By centering on the present and regarding each day as a fresh beginning, you unshackle yourself from the confines of the past, paving the way to script a brighter, more enriching narrative for your life. 6. Fixation on future events. Imagine being on a tranquil beach getaway. The ocean waves are softly breaking on the shoreline, and there's a refreshing breeze, yet your mind is elsewhere, preoccupied with concerns about an impending work assignment, a financial decision, or various future uncertainties. While contemplating and planning for the future is prudent, an overemphasis on it can detract from the pleasure and experiences of the now. Habitually fixating on what lies ahead can be equated to standing at a mountain's base, fixated on the summit without valuing the ascent. The trap of what-ifs and hypotheticals is easy to fall into. This constant forward-looking stance can breed anxiety, unease, and a sense of detachment. The Stoic leader Marcus Aurelius penned, "Never let the future disturb you. You will meet it, if you have to, with the same weapons of reason which today arm you against the present." This wisdom implies that fretting over the future is futile, but our present responses and readiness can shape our future encounters. Imagine two students facing an imminent exam. One is perpetually stressed, envisioning all possible adverse outcomes, whereas the other is concentrating on the present, diligently preparing. Both are cognizant of the looming test, yet their attitudes and mental states diverge markedly. To sidestep the pitfall of incessant future contemplation, anchoring oneself in the present is crucial. When you notice your thoughts veering towards future worries, engage in mindfulness practices like focused breathing or engaging your senses to return to the present moment. It's wise to plan for what's ahead, but equally important to live in and savor the present, as it's the only time we truly possess. By striking a balance, acknowledging the future, yet fully inhabiting the present, you pave the way for a more balanced and gratifying life journey. 7. The endless quest for flawlessness. You're the host of a dinner soiree. The atmosphere is buzzing, the guests are engaged, and the cuisine is exquisite. Yet rather than basking in the success of the evening, your attention is caught by a dish that's slightly too salty, or a small flaw in the table arrangement. This constant striving for absolute perfection in every aspect can cast a long shadow, dampening the spirits of even the happiest events. In the era of social media, with its relentless showcase of idealized lifestyles, the pressure to achieve flawlessness in every sphere, be it personal appearance, relationships, career, or home, is intensified. The pursuit of perfection can feel like an endless race on a treadmill, constant effort with no real arrival at the sought-after destination. Seneca wisely stated, "To wish for perfection is a sure way to become unhappy." This Stoic perspective highlights the truth that perfection is a mirage, often unachievable. Chasing it can lead to a chronic sense of insufficiency, dissatisfaction, and even exhaustion. Consider a celebrated painter working on a potential masterpiece. Were they to be hindered by the demand for sheer perfection, they might never complete any piece. Instead, they understand that the essence of beauty often resides in the quirks, and it's the entirety of the work that counts, not the tiny flaws. To steer clear of the snare of perfectionism, embracing the principle of good enough is vital. This isn't about embracing mediocrity, but acknowledging that there's a significant difference between aiming for excellence and obsessing over absolute flawlessness. Acknowledge and celebrate your successes, however minor, and learn to accept the imperfections inherent in our human nature. Whenever you catch yourself veering towards perfectionist inclinations, pause and reflect. Is this detail truly significant? Will it hold any importance a week, a month, or a year from now? By shifting your viewpoint and concentrating on the broader picture, you can liberate yourself from the fetters of perfectionism, fostering a life marked by greater balance and satisfaction. Pondering the teachings of Stoic philosophers, it's clear that self-reflection and mindfulness play crucial roles in fostering a life of equilibrium and resilience. As we've delved into these 7 non-Stoic tendencies today, my aspiration is that they have illuminated your path, offering direction and refinement. Stoicism isn't about attaining flawlessness, but about continual growth and adjusting one's outlook. Take this moment to reflect. Do any of these patterns hold sway in your life? What steps can you take towards realignment and enhancement? I invite you to share your thoughts and journeys in the comments section. Which of these practices struck a chord with you? Have you stumbled upon additional habits that pose obstacles on your Stoic voyage? Let's foster a dynamic exchange and collective advancement. Thank you for your presence, and until our next philosophical venture, may you discover peace and fortitude in the Stoic philosophy. Embrace Stoicism. I wish you a good life.